When you don't go to Geico.com, car insurance can seem intense. Like breakup R&B intense.
I thought you said you loved the sweater that I got you. If you didn't, you could have told me.
Geico makes it easy. Just go to Geico.com anytime to update or check your policy without all the extra drama.
I even had a gift receipt.
Blog Talk Radio. Season 7, Debate Talk for You. GMG, Seek Truth. Listen, I'm on a get knowledge mission. Debate Talk for You is a great lake to fish in. You know a war got a blaze in the kitchen. If the seat too hot, don't try to sit in. We touch topics to bless you, yes. And plus we gotta line up a special guest. You heard about Josh, he the champion. Absolute Bible truth is the champion. Can't forget Zadok, the brother always stay hot. And the KOJ is like a rank on top. Shout out Amuna. Relationship issues gonna have to get dealt with either later or sooner. Live on air, when Sal hit the button, it ain't no front, you better ride prepared. Put it out, look at how hard you went. Can the other side handle your argument? When the question pops, now is your chance to respond. Don't dodge like why is it 6? Waiting for the answer, like 1996 in the NBA draft when AI was the pick. Man in the mirror, wake up, use your head. It's not a hat rack, begin a new era. Shows like this be few to none. And where we come from, speak the Hebrew tongue. Take down notes, the audience votes, and then check back in to see who won. One debate talk for you, for you, debate talk for you, 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 for you.
Don't touch that dial. You're now listening to Debate Talk for You Radio. If you need an added push to have your products heard by 1,000 listeners out there, come advertise on Debate Talk for You Radio. All you need to do is send me an email at debatetalkforyou@gmail.com, and it's a $25 fee for a whole year to advertise, whether it be a live event, a book signing, merchandise, website, or if you have your own radio show that you like to promote. Once again, advertise right here on Debate Talk for You Radio. Take advantage of the low fee. Trust me, no one else will give you such a low fee to advertise via worldwide radio. So once again, send me an email at debatetalkforyou@gmail.com for more details. You don't want to miss checking out the most controversial video of the year. Everybody's talking about it. A video produced by Absolute Bible Truth teacher, Brother Josh. The video is entitled, Is There a Secret Gay Agenda Amongst the Comedic Conscious Groups? Once again, it's one of the most talked about videos right now, and you want to make sure you go check it out. So go to the website, www.absolutebibletruth.com/store. And once you get it, it's an automatic download. You don't have to wait for it to be sent to you in the mail. It's an automatic download. So once again, go check out the video, get it fast, and get it now. Welcome to another episode of Debate Talk for You. I'm your host, Sal Showtime, and welcome back to the show live. I appreciate everybody out there that's been supporting the show over the years, and we want to have your continued support by going to www.paypal.com. Use the email debatetalkforyou@gmail.com. We need your support in order for us to have the show available to the masses each and every month, because of course we have monthly fees in order for the show to remain on the air. So once again, we appreciate the support out there, people. Again, if you want to show your support, go to www.paypal.com and use the email debatetalkforyou@gmail.com. So if you love what you hear, you love the content, you love the segments, and the special guests that come on the show, please keep us on the air. We love you guys. Again, show your support. You know the email. One love.
Yo, what up? It's your boy K for H, representing East New York, Brooklyn. I'm in the building with my man Sal Showtime. He holding it down with the Debate Talk for You radio. Tune in every Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Also, check out that late nights and early morning mixtape and that Black Hoodie-ish mixtape. It's your boy K for H, and you're now listening to Debate Talk for You radio. Certified, stamped it, approved it.
Hey, what's up? This is Uncle E from the Uncle E Show on YouTube. You're now listening to Debate Talk for You radio. Please check in every Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Call up if you got questions. The number is 319
What else?
527
What else?
62
What else?
39.
Got it.
Please press 1 for question and comments. And also check out my show on YouTube at Renegades TV. Big shout out to my brother, Sal Showtime. Let's get it.
Peace and blessings, family. This is your good, humble brother, Basim, representing the DMV area. And when I'm not holding down my mid-level position in corporate America, I'm tuned into the most respected debate show on the globe. That's Debate Talk for You with the esteemed host, Sal Showtime.
This is Ronald Francoeur representing from Atlanta, Georgia. And when I'm not busy in the studio, I'm checking out Debate Talk for You radio. Keep up the great work, Sal Showtime.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? How you guys doing? Welcome to another show. You're now listening to Season 7 of Debate Talk for You radio. I'm your host, Sal Showtime, and of course we are back with another great show for the masses out there. And once again, we are back. I see we have a lot of people, as usual, calling in. And we usually don't come on the air until 8 p.m. Eastern Time. For those that are new to the show, we usually come on from Monday to Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. But, you know, due to the topic issue, I decided to actually I was called in to come in early. And basically, I got a lot of emails, actually, from the people out there that wanted to hear or speak about this particular topic. Today's show is entitled, "The 45th President is Donald Trump. What now?" Again, today's show is entitled, "The 45th President is Donald Trump. What now?" There's a lot of people actually waking up. They woke up this morning and were in shock of the results from the election that happened today. A lot of people still are in shock. Some people actually are fearful of what is to happen, what's going to happen in the near future. What now? That's the question. What now? What are we preparing for? Well, how do we deal with this? Are we to be fearful, or what are we to look for when it comes to Donald Trump being our president here? A lot of people, would say that Hillary Clinton wasn't the best as far as candidates are concerned. Some people actually are rooting for Donald Trump, and they're, elated that he is the president right now at this time. If you want to chime in, of course, you know that number, 319-527-6239. Let your voice be heard. Let us know what you think about our 45th president is Donald Trump officially. He is our president, and I just actually watched the concession speech from Hillary Clinton, and also saw Barack Obama came out and did his speech as well, letting us know that they spoke to Donald Trump, and they basically, talk about this coming together and, working together. What do you guys think about that? Do you think it's going to be a good 4 years coming up? Let us know. There's a lot of mixed views about this particular presidency with Donald Trump, being the president. Some people are saying that a lot of the things were rigged when it comes to this particular election. They're saying that Hillary Clinton didn't do enough as far as promoting and putting all the things that Donald Trump has done. I don't know. I watched some of the election and some of the debates actually, and I think that Hillary Clinton did an excellent job as far as putting things out there. But again, I think it's both parties had certain each other, and I don't know. I don't know what it was that made it where Donald Trump was the victor in this particular election. But again, this is your time to let your voice be heard when it comes to this issue today. A lot of people, like I said, a lot of people are shocked. A lot of people don't know what to do. I'm watching the news. I'm seeing people, panicking. I'm in New York City, of course, so, a lot of people have a lot of mixed feelings on Donald Trump. Some people actually, I see a lot of the Latinos actually are in favor of Donald Trump, and they're looking forward to the things he's going to do. Again, the number is 319-527-6239. See, we have a lot of Skypers out there. If you're listening on Skype and you want to chime in, this press number 1 will add you in the conversation. Waiting for a few people that I actually invited to, speak on this particular topic. If you're out there, guys, you got to press number 1, and we'll bring you into the show. And by the way, the chat room is officially open, people. The chat room is officially open. If you want to gain access to the chat room, go to www.blogtalkradio.com/debate talk for you. Click on the show. The 45th president is Donald Trump. But now, and when you scroll down at the bottom, you can see like a little box there where you can interact with me or the people that's inside the chat room. I'm not really much into the politics, but the people wanted this show, and they wanted to hear us call in and speak about this particular topic. So we're here today. The president is Donald Trump. Believe it or not, the president is Donald Trump. I saw some videos also from the UK, people from the UK that's been actually keeping a close eye on this particular election, and they're saying that they knew that Donald Trump would be the president for a certain amount of reasons. I actually reached out to my brother from Express Truth. He's from the UK, and shout out to Prime Minister and also my brother Mark from the show The Express Truth, which is a great, excellent show, and actually in the near future going to be a part of their up-and-coming app and radio, their own particular radio station in the UK. So shout out to those brothers. And they had a lot of interesting things to say about Donald Trump being the president. They're saying a lot of things about, Hillary Clinton dropping the ball. They feel like Hillary Clinton and the Clintons have a bad reputation as far as, Bill Clinton is concerned, and, they didn't trust that Hillary would follow her own agenda. They felt like it would be more Barack Obama, and a lot of different things are being said. I'm getting a lot of emails right now. I'm reading some of the emails as we speak. I'm checking out some of the social media comments, people talking about the presidency. Again, please, if you have any comments about this, you press number 1. I will add you in the conversation. And hold on, I'm going to try to reach out to a few people that I've invited on the show. Stand by.
That's our popular demand. You're now listening to Debate Talk Radio.
Peace and assalamu alaikum. This is Raheem Ali, your expert investigative reporter. Checking out the Lion's Den Debate Talk for You with your great host, Sal Showtime.
Never allow the possibility of your heart desire to trouble your mind, whether it is success or happiness, because your mind is a powerful machine that is very capable of manifesting anything that it conceives and believes in. Become more enlightened about life and the subconscious mind by visiting quotesforthemind.com. You are only as strong as the thoughts that constantly dwell in your mind. Therefore, never allow any negative belief about your abilities in life to be granted shelter in your mind. Edmund Mbiaka, quotesforthemind.com.
All right, people, once again, we are back. Again, today, Donald Trump is the president. Donald Trump is our president. I know a lot of people couldn't believe it. Some people are actually rooting for Donald Trump. There's a lot of mixed views about our president. He is our president of the United States. What now, people? What now? Some people are actually talking about leaving the country. They want to, get out of this country. They feel like a lot of things are going to happen now that Donald Trump is our president. Do you believe a lot of the people that are saying that? What are we to do? now that Donald Trump is our president. Let's go to the first special guest that I see on the phone line. Let's go to my brother, LaRon Campbell. Welcome to the show.
What's going on, Sal? Can you hear me? How you doing, brother?
Yeah, man, loud and clear, man, loud and clear. We touch on some politics today, right here on the Big Talk Radio. And my next special guest, she's here, Michelle. Welcome to the show.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, what's going on? How you feeling?
I'm feeling shocked. I'm feeling disgusted.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
But I think we need some encouragement right now. I think our people need some encouragement right now regarding this topic. And I wanted to thank you for creating this show this afternoon, because so many people are in shock and so many people are disgusted like myself. And this is a good way to encourage each other and to have this kind of a platform. So I appreciate it.
I appreciate you being on the show as well. Well, LaRon, let's start off with you. What do you think, man? What do you think about, Donald Trump being the president? What now? What are we to do? Let us. When you woke up this morning, man, what was your feelings? What was your thoughts?
First of all, y'all know I deal with eschatology, man. That's one of my points. So the whole election system, the whole government system, the whole political system basically is built off of what we call Mystery Babylon religion, shortly after the Tower of Babel situation, which was also a New World Order, that was put forth. And when you look at it, it's on our dollar. We see the monuments that's in Washington, around the world, dealing with the obelisk, which is a sundial, which let us know what time it is and what's really going on. We see it also in Rome. We see it in Egypt. We see it in Babylon. We see it all around the world, dealing with these, this compromise that happened shortly after the dispersion of Mystery Babylon. And, so we see that it's gone into all the world. So I think that as a believer, or those that say that they deal with the Bible, I think that, the system checks in on you every 4 years, basically, and it gets us in the fornication with this system, even the kings of the earth, which we see that they have been affected by, this system, and setting up the elections. And we get so involved with it, and we think that it's helping us, but we've seen what took place when, the gay rights took place, and they lit up the White House with, rainbow colors signifying homosexuality. So, I'm not shocked at all. I'm not moved by the emotions. My thing is to basically encourage the people to stop. Let the world handle their own affairs. There's going to be some things. It's going to get worse. That's just bottom line. I'm not just saying because Trump is in position, because in order to run in the first place, you have to be a part of this beast system. You have to be up under basically Mystery Babylon religion. So when you look at it, the biggest religious people is the politicians. Every day, they are the biggest ritual keepers behind closed doors, and they get gained behind by bloodshed. So I think that as a people, we shouldn't be shocked. This is a social experiment just to see where the people is at every 4 years. A consensus. You go out and you give much, but you only get a little back. So you're really giving more than you actually gaining. So they're making Christians, they're making people that are religious, whatever, from every faith, basically decide or position themselves in the position to cause them to be vulnerable. So there's a lot of that going on, and we have to encourage our people not to commit fornication with the kings of this earth and this Mystery Babylon system. And I think we have not did that. So if you are getting a response to this system due to the fact of what took place last night, that means you need to break out of this system and break apart from it. Now, we may spend the money and use their currency, but at the same time, you render unto Caesar what is Caesar's. And with that being said is that the God that they trust is on the dollar. When it tells you what they trust, which is Heru, the Eye of Horus, the all-seeing Eye of Horus, which is a deity or a divine one, Ra. And we know that Ra in the Bible means calamity. Means, when we look at what evil means, evil in the Hebrew is Ra, and it means calamity. It means misery. It means mischief. So you are actually inviting this into your paradigm and taking place in it, and I think that it's something that we should stay apart from as a people. We can expect for it to get bad. I don't know why we even get into the system and say it's going to get, no, you basically giving them intel of yourself. That's all you're doing every 4 years when they check in on you. You're giving them intel on your passions and your desires and what you want to happen. But in reality, that's not happening. And the little gain that you get, you're giving up more of yourself. So yeah, we can expect a bumpy ride. Donald Trump and also Hillary are the same people. They're just positioning themselves on who's going to do the job the best. But there's a job that needs to be done, and that job is according to Mystery Babylon and his B system.
Once again, it's Debate Talk Radio. Again, I see a lot of people calling into the show. If you want to chime in, the number is 319-527-6239. And if you want to say something, this person number one will add you in the conversation. Again, we're talking about Donald Trump being our new 45th president. And what now? What do we do now that he is the president? Some people are happy about it. Some people are angry about it. Share your thoughts. Again, the number is 319-527-6239. I see somebody on the phone line. Let's go to 615-973. You're live on air. (615-973). Can you hear me? Hello? Are you there? 615. All right. Guess they're just listening in. Well, let's bring in Michelle. Michelle, what do you think about, when you woke up this morning, and let us know what you thought about, Donald Trump being the president. But what's your thoughts?
Well, first of all, I stayed up all night last night. And I was up till I think 3 in the morning, something like that, trying to wait. I couldn't go I refused to sleep until I found out. I wasn't for either one of them. I believe that both of them are corrupt. I believe in a rigged system, But I didn't find out. I ended up falling asleep. I didn't find out until I woke up this morning, and I was in shock because I thought sure that it was going to be Hillary that was going to be our president. Again, not that I was for her. That's just what my opinion, what I thought. Also, I was speaking to a lot of people who believe in this Bible code, and they were saying that according to this Bible code, that Hillary Clinton, that she was destined to be our president, or that she has a hand in it anyway. And regardless of whether they announced Donald Trump, that Hillary's right there, right behind him. And as a matter of fact, in her speech just a little bit ago, she said that she was going to work with Donald Trump and assist him in running the country and things like that. So, but my thoughts, I'm still in shock, but I do believe that it's biblical. I believe it's prophetic. I believe that if you look at Matthew chapter 24, I believe that rumors of wars, we all know that Donald Trump is not afraid to start a war. He wants to start a war. I believe that he's going to usher in World War III. I believe that we're in for it. I think that we need to be prepared, that we need to study, that we need to prepare ourselves. I believe that not only is there going to be a World War III, but I believe that there's going to be race wars as well that are started. We all know that Donald Trump is racist. as far as Puerto Ricans and Latinos and things like that being for Donald Trump, I can never understand that. Donald Trump was quoted in saying that Puerto Ricans are the worst kinds of Mexicans, whatever that means. So I think that all people of Hispanic descent, of African American descent, need to be aware of the comments that he's making and the plans that he has for our people.
Once again, just Debate Talk for You Radio. The 45th president is Donald Trump. You know, you can share your questions, your comments live. Number is 319-527-6239. Now, LaRon, what do you think was the cause of Hillary not getting enough votes to become the 45th president of the United States? What was the cause? Do you think anything, the scandal with the emails was the cause? What do you think? What are your thoughts?
I think that for the most part is the government, the people, are not ready for they're not ready for a woman to be in position as a head, mainly, and I think that goes for, people people this of every culture, so to speak, I think that was the whole issue, actually, also with Trump, some of the things that, he has done a lot of, it was just an open show overall, but I think Hillary, mainly because she is a woman, you still have it to where a lot of men, are not, ready for a woman to be the president at this point of time, and with Donald Trump, they put you in a position to where, he comes out as this radical guy, and people like drama. So that's what they cling to. That's why when we look at reality shows, talk shows, these have the high ratings because this is what people like. So once he comes out as this radical person, and I don't really too much know anything about him, but for the most part, I've seen some of the things on TV, that the media promotes, and I'm not saying to judge him about what I've seen, but this is an open show. This is for the entertainment. This is for you to get caught up in your emotions, and that's what, and get a response out of you. So I look at it as just a entertainment thing, and I think that Hillary, from the start has the same goal as Donald Trump. I think that, it's nothing different, whether you Democrat, Republican, or whatever you call yourself to be, they all have the same goal and are under oath. So I don't know why people think that, you getting out doing this and that is going to change, or, even people that put forth prophecy on who's going to be in there. No. The Bible is clear that, the whole system is really rigged up. Like, it don't matter who gets in there. If it's Hillary, don't think that she's not going to start something that Trump is going to start. They have to, they told. And if you don't do what you told, then you basically violate code and you have to be dealt with. So I think that it's clear that whoever got in there, was the one who's going to do the job the best at this point in time, But the same goal is for both people. That's what it's built for. It's like when you sit down and they ask you the same questions different times, but how you answer those questions is how these people know how to respond to you, and if you ask a question, it's the same question, they just asked it different ways. So this is a social experiment. So, we have to make sure that we understand that and we don't get caught up in the Mystery Babylon system. And that should be the only biblical prophecy that anybody should give you. We don't know who these people are, but we know they have the same agenda and the goal, as according to Revelation 17, when it says these have the same mind, are these kings of the beast, or their social system. And, they're going to do away with the religious aspect of it, because it's all ritual behind it. Behind closed doors, it's all ritual. That's why they participate in ritual things. That's why your dollar bill has ritual things on it. Your Washington has a ritual monument. So we just got to make sure that we don't get so caught up in the system to the point to where we lose ourselves, especially emotionally. So my encouragement to the people, is that they be a little bit more wiser and smarter, especially if you're holding this book, because this book gives you the answers to this time. And you don't want to be one of those people that are influenced, as the Bible says, by that cup that's in Mystery Babylon's hand, which even the kings of the earth is influenced by. You don't want to be that person that goes depending on this social system when it's run by the devil, Satan. So, we've seen it coming from a long ways out.
All right, so you're saying there's a lot of things already rigged with the system, things of that nature. What about you, Cheryl? What do you think of what was the cause of Hillary, not getting enough votes?
I believe a presidency can be bought. I believe that I'm a huge, I guess you could call me a conspiracy theorist. It was destined to be for Donald Trump to be president from years ago. There's an episode of The Simpsons that had Donald Trump president, that had him on the same escalator that he was standing on waving to the people, and this was like back in 2000. I believe that he just was. He's just meant to be. That's just the person that he picked, and I believe that your presidency can be bought and paid for, and I believe that that's what was done here. I don't believe that it would have mattered. I don't believe that our vote counts. I believe that our vote is more of a census to see how many people actually voted, in what state for what person. I've had several people come and knock on my door and ask me, are you voting? Who are you voting for? How many children do you have? Things like that, just taking a census. Because I believe that, that it's a very controlled system, and they want to know how many people are still brainwashed, But that's what I believe. That's how I think that Donald Trump got in there. I think that he has the money to be president, and that's pretty much it. As far as his values, I don't believe that the American people, the majority of the American people, agree with his values. I know that there's a lot of racism and things like that, but if I may say, white people in this country are actually the minority, and we are the majority. And I don't believe that the majority in America voted for Donald Trump. I think that they either didn't vote at all, or they went third party, or they voted for Hillary. But I don't believe that the majority wanted Donald Trump to be our president.
All right, once again, this is Debate Talk for You. We talk about politics too now on Debate Talk for You Radio. Once again, as we all know, Donald Trump is our president. What now? What do we do? How to prepare for things to come? Are you afraid? Are you not afraid? You know that number, 319-527-6239. If you want to chime in, you can call in via phone or Skype, and it's person number 1, or add you in the conversation, let your voice be heard. What do you think about the presidency now that Donald Trump, is our president? Do you feel more proud? Do you feel proud of your country? Let us know what you think. Oh, by the way, for the new listeners out there, when you call in, you cannot, there's no foul language. You got to keep it clean, keep it professional if you want to say any words. But I think we have a Skype caller calling in. Yeah, caller from, I think you're from Skype. Are you from Skype? Yeah. Hello? Are you in the air? Can you hear me? Hello? Hey, hello. You're live in the air. Skype caller? I believe this is a Skype caller.
Shalom, man. Paradise Shipping.
Hey, what's going on? How you feeling?
I'm good, King. How about yourself?
I'm good, man. What do you think about this election, man? Donald Trump is the president, brother. What do you think?
it's a shock wave that's being felt across the globe right now, man. I think it's a prong kind of thing. It's a case that nothing really is going to change. It's a different approach to how this management of the corporation of the United States of America is going to be run. I don't think much is going to change apart from the approach. Donald Trump will be a lot more, would potentially be more forceful in his approach to governing the mental of the masses, and that will have a detrimental fact or impact even on original folk. So black folk, anyone with heavily melanated skin, i.e. Mexicans as well, they're going to feel a little bit more uneasier than they have historically done. So maybe that will be the catalyst for people to actually wake up and realize what is actually going on and what they need to do as a community and as a potential nation to combat this here, because currently everyone's sort of been lulled to sleep kind of thing. You know what I'm saying, Sal?
Now you in the UK, right? So I know the UK, a lot of brothers in the UK been watching this election closely as well. I mean, what did people, what did they think, man? I mean, are you in shock? Did you actually think that Donald Trump would be the president? Or
King, listen, right? I wanted Trump to become president based upon, as I said, what I've just laid out, because he's going to be a bit more harsher with his regime. Hillary, from the research that I've done and based upon her political stance, based upon the bloodlines, etc., it seemed like it was a sure thing. Again, off the back of President Obama being the first so-called black president, mulatto, but obviously people call him the first black president, quote unquote. So to fall in line with that, with America being the beacon of liberty, the beacon of freedom for the free world, the next step would then be to say, hey, we're going to give the world a female president to show you again that we're dealing with quote-unquote equality. We've had a black man in for 2 terms, and now we're going to put a woman in. It made perfect sense to me. And it made a lot of sense to quite a lot of people, because, as I say, it's a shock to now hear that Mr. Trump, or Trump, as he's renamed himself, is now the 45th president of the wilderness in North America. It's a mad shock.
All right, man. Yeah, we got that, straight from the UK right there, man. You got the UK reaction. Let's see, somebody else is calling in. Let's see, 44781. Who am I speaking to?
Yo, can you hear me?
Hey, what's going on, man? Who am I speaking to?
Peace, Mark Hamilton, Express Truth. Shout out to Noble Cell. Listening to the show, man. What's good? Yeah,
what's up?
I
saw your video, my brother. I saw your video, man. You definitely, said your piece about Donald Trump, but share with the debate talk for you fans. What do you think about Donald Trump being the president?
Yeah, right now I just think, look, Trump says what most people think. Donald Trump, he's a mouthpiece. What he's saying, most Americans are thinking, but they're scared to say it because they feel that they will be labeled racist. So Trump's out there talking crazy. See what I'm saying? But they don't. The people of America don't want to say it. So that's how he got in so easily. It was easy, and this whole thing of using celebrities in America needs to stop, because you using celebrities shows what weak state the country's in right now. Because these celebrities are entertainers. They ain't got nothing to do with politics. See what I'm saying? Whereas Trump was dealing with politics, dealing with telling people they're going to get their jobs back, saying that he's going to help rebuild cities, saying that he's going to give the Americans back the power. the white man in America, that's what he wants to hear. He don't want to hear nothing about no Beyonce dancing on stage or Jay-Z. You've just had 8 years of Obama, and Obama hasn't done nothing for you guys out there, man. He ain't done nothing for you. Us looking from the UK, we're saying to ourselves, well, Obama's out there as a black man. The black man in America is being slaughtered worldwide for all of us to see. And we're saying to ourselves, why ain't this black president saying nothing? He remains quiet. He remains silent. So the black people of America, you must have had enough out there, man. Because if one of your own is in the White House and he ain't saying nothing about what's taking place, I mean, what can really happen? And all of a sudden, I'm seeing all these celebrities talking about how they're going to move to Canada and they're going to get out of the States. They ain't going to go nowhere, man, because all Trump is a puppet. The puppet master is the real man with the powers. So whether Hillary come in or whoever come in, the puppet master is the man with the powers. And that's basically it, man.
D-King.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Express Truth Radio. For those who aren't aware, make sure you go subscribe on YouTube. Just type in the search box, Express Truth. You know, they have a great radio show. Go ahead, Noble.
Peace, King. Peace. Yeah, as Mark said, it's a classic example. I mean, if we take away the emotion out of it, he's a managing director. He's a CEO, chief executive officer of a corporation. He holds no more power than, you know, the president of Walgreens, for instance. He is a figurehead. He is the mouthpiece of the man them behind the scenes, behind the curtains, pulling the strings. So he's not going to affect the type of change he was talking about, i.e. building this wall. I mean, this is ludicrous things that he's saying. I mean, what he will potentially do is to complete the fence/wall, or Tijuana, etc., to fence off Mexico from Texas and California, etc. That's what his potential intentions are. And he's had the smarts to galvanize the working man, the man who, you know, the so-called working man, the middle-class man, the man who has potential extreme views. He's galvanized that spirit and laid it all out to bear. And they've lapped it up just the same way that with the Brexit votes that we had in England, it was a very similar type of thing.
Yes, it was definitely very, 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 very similar. And Trump
hold on
played.
1 second. Hold on, brother Mark. Hold on. Let me see if my other brother. Okay, LaRon, you still there, LaRon?
Yeah, I'm here.
You still? Yeah, you want to chime in on that? I mean, we're here from the UK right now. We're going back to the US. Well, you know, anything you want to chime in with that real quick? Anything you want to say? What the brothers are saying?
Yeah, I'm very familiar with them. Even you know how, you know, the people in the UK view just the election within itself. You know, and I hear the brothers talking tonight, you know, and that's a great thing. You know, I think that for the most part, I've seen a lot of people that was from the UK that was on my timeline, whether Caucasians or either blacks, view overall as America just being a literal mess, even in the elections, even in the people that was running. You know, anytime you have, you know, a open show, you know, like America has done, you know, or either, you know, with trials and different things, it all is a mess. And I think that people that's in other countries can kind of look at America and say, you know, this is a total mess. You know, the head is really chopped up and screwed and has become corrupt. Well, is corrupt, and the body, you know, which is the people, are suffering from it. And they just have, you know, people are just so blinded to the fact of what took place even with dealing with Obama, you know, why he didn't address certain issues of different people raising up their hand against each other, you know, and the conditions in America, whereas the people in China or Korea, the young guy over there, who was the governor, he said that, hey, look, you guys can't tell us what to do when you can't even handle your own affairs in your land. You have a racism problem. So, we see that really America and the people exposed themselves last night and exposed themselves every 4 years. And I think that when the sister says that is being done, you expose yourself so now they know how to attack you. They basically attacked you and you counterattacked, but now you left yourself open on how to be attacked, openly by these guys on a social experiment. So when we look at it, there is no, the system, the head is corrupt. So I don't know what you accomplish, by these certain things that you're doing. You're just a statistic. And I don't care if you're white, if you think you benefit from it or whatever color from it, immigrants, there's nothing, when I say that, that was a great speech that Trump gave about the immigrants, but I'm telling you now, that's not going to work. He made it seem great. He danced around and said what's going to happen with the immigrants. I mean, if you only know how much money the immigrants bring to, people that's in America and people that's outside of America, and the labor that the people are getting, it's almost just like slavery almost. So, I mean, this is a money industry. And so things will be said to get in office, but in reality, there is a lot of money that's being made, by the American elites, in regards to what immigrants is doing, and I think that him saying he's going to put jobs back into the people's hands and this and that, nah, they make too much money off of that, that sounds good. But, I think that at the end of the day, he's saying stuff to the Americans basically to get them all, riled up and to get their votes. But in reality, they benefit from that, So it's all a scheme and a scam. So then you have people that's religious, that knows these things, that know the book tells you about these things, that every one of them have the same agenda. And there are people who are not religious, as the brothers on here know, the puppet master run it. He runs it, and so if Donald Trump or if Hillary get out of pocket, they will position them in a place or position them in a place that they don't want to be, or position them back in place as in regards to the order that they are to have. So a lot of people have exposed themselves openly before this government and also before themselves, and it's just ridiculous. Now you see that the division among these people. Now you see that the color, fighting against each other. So it's open, like you see it now. Now you actually see the people who are in the church that's causing division by the election. And you see the racism on both sides, whatever culture you is. They have exposed themselves, and it's foolishness. And so I'm looking on my timeline, and I'm seeing people, and I'm just like, look, you have exposed yourself. You just don't know it. What you say about liberals, what you say about Democrats, or what you say about Republicans, your main thing should be it's all the same. Each one of these people are influenced by this religious beast system, and it's the same. And that should be what you should say instead of causing the division as these governments have always caused. Divide, conquer. And, this is what they're doing, dividing and conquering and destroying people. And people are openly willing to be destroyed. And they're thinking that this system is going to help them. I don't care whether you're white. Look, the product of the beast system is supremacy, whether if you white, black, whatever. That is a product of the system. They don't care nothing about you because they sit back with an amalgamation of people of these countries, black countries, other cultures of people, white countries, and they all come together on how they can be empowered off of the labor of the people, this Lord in them. So, I mean, we have exposed ourselves. So I see now, even in the church, of believers who say they are believers, from black, white, whatever culture you is, I'm looking at you saying, look, you in fornication with this mystery Babylon whore or this beast system. You definitely in fornication. And not only are you in fornication, you have exposed yourself. And you have to get it back in order and come from up out of this system. You know, so I think that and that goes for my people, you know, that are black, my people that are white, you know, my people that are of the other cultures, Negroid, Mongoloid, Cascanoid, whatever you is. You have exposed yourself, and you do it every 4 years. You did it when you voted for Obama just because he was black. You exposed yourself. Or just because he was a Democrat, you exposed yourself.
All right. Yeah, let me. I'm gonna let the other brothers and sisters come back in. Michelle, we'll let you chime in a minute. Let me just go to the phone lines real quick. Let's see. 601-955. You're live on air. 601-955. Are you there?
I'm sorry, sir. I didn't press one. I'm just listening in, man.
Oh, okay. All right, cool, man. I think Blog Talk Radio does that at times. You know, Blog Talk, it's crazy. Well, let's go to Michelle real quick. Michelle, you want to say anything?
I agree. I agree with the brother in the UK. I agree with the other special guest that's here. That it's a corrupt system. That the entire thing is corrupt. That the entire thing. If there was ever a time to read your Bible, it's now. It's coming to pass. Prophecy is coming to pass. The things in the Word of God are coming to pass. And Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump are puppets. And they do have to obey and follow a certain set of rules and a certain system in order to be in the positions that they are in. I completely agree with that. It's correct from the president to the Pope, but that's a whole other conversation.
Yeah, he sounds a little low, but you can work on that. Let's go back to the UK, though. Let's go to my brother Mark and let's go to Noble. You know, people are saying that they're afraid now that Donald Trump is officially our president. In your opinion, are those fears valid? Should we be fearful? Should we be scared now that Donald Trump is the president? Let's go to Mark first.
Yeah, man, I'm there. Should you be afraid? I would say no. Just continue doing what you do, because like I said earlier, Donald Trump is just a puppet. So you should be no more afraid of him than you would have been of Hillary Clinton, because I don't understand since when have black people ever been followers? Comes like the good black folks of the USA are starting to look like followers to me, because you're following what the media are saying. But at the end of the day, I was up all night watching you guys' election, and he didn't win by no tight margin. He won comfortably. So all these folks in the media that are saying that this guy is this and this guy is that, someone's voting for this guy. Someone's pushing this guy's agenda. So I would say to my brothers and sisters in the States, don't be frightened. Continue doing what you do. Nothing don't really change for you per se. You still need to go out. You still need to pay your bills. You still need to raise your children. And that's it. You can't fight the war of the Mexican man. You see what I'm saying? You can't do it. You have to think about yourself first. That's how it has to go. We need to be a little bit selfish in these times. Trump has said all the right things, and he continues to say all the right things, and that's why he got the votes. And a lot of black folks was voting for Trump too. I seen that he got some solid states out there, man. He weren't just these redneck places. He was getting some solid places, man. So I would say, to answer your question, Sal, no, you don't need to be scared. Just continue doing you. No, but what you say, man?
I can only echo what you've the jewels you've just dropped on that, and to reiterate, just be careful. I think financially, there's been a lot of drops. The peso, that drops. There's been the FTSE 100, that drops. So there will be an effect, most definitely, economic and financial effects on the siblings them. But fear, no. Fear the Most High, most definitely. But fear man, definitely not. Be vigilant. Put in the necessary work. Again, try and think. Let's try and get back to that community spirit. Let's try and build something. We've got an opportunity now where, there are going to be some of the siblings who are going to be real frightened, thinking of the type of rhetoric which has been spoken actually being manifested in the physical. I doubt it very, very much. But let's actually do something to affect that change within our circle, whether that be at a local community level, whether that be at state level. But let's just continue to move forward, not look behind. Let's move forward and be as progressive and positive as possible. Nothing now got to change, really.
Indeed, man. Indeed. Let me just say one more thing before I pass it back to you, Sal. We got to stop following social media, man. And we need to stop following celebrities. And I hate to sound like I'm on repeat, but that's all I'm seeing. All throughout my timeline is celebrities. And I wish the Americans would get out of this thing of following celebrities. I mean, don't get me wrong. You can see the white man's fearful currently right now because we've just had the Brexit thing over here in Britain, and you heard what Trump said. He's going to do Brexit times 2. So the white man is scared right now. See what I'm saying? So we need some strong people at the forefront. We can't keep following entertainers. So that's one thing that I feel passionate about. I'm constantly seeing entertainers being put at the forefront representing black people. When I see LeBron James and Beyonce and Jay-Z, I say to myself, oh, these guys have a talent that is entertainment. They entertain folks. Since when have they become any sort of leaders for us? And they was backing Hillary, the same person who many black Americans have negative things to say. She just jumps up in front of you guys. She goes on the Breakfast Club. She's doing the Southern dances, the dab and all these dances. And people are taking it all on board. And that needs to stop, man. In order for folks to move forward, that kind of thing needs to stop.
That's real talk, man. Let's go to Michelle. Should we be afraid, Michelle? Should we be scared that Donald Trump is the president? Should we be fearful?
No, we definitely shouldn't be. Hold on, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear.
We shouldn't be afraid. We should be mindful. We should do our research. We should stay encouraged. We shouldn't be afraid. We should teach our children about their history, what's going on in this world, the Bible. But I don't think that we should be fearful of Donald Trump being our president. I just feel that we should be aware.
All right. LaRon, hold on. Let me somebody's press number 1. We go to the special. Let me see. 601-955. Who's calling?
I just wanted to say a few words. I want to give a shout out to the brother LaRon because I didn't even know you had a show coming on. I just want to send a shout out to LaRon for posting it on his timeline. And I agree, especially what LaRon just said about everybody being exposed and I guess showing their true colors, I guess. But appreciate the show being on and good job, man. That's all I want to say.
Yeah, who is this actually?
All right.
This Gotti. Gotti, I follow you on Facebook, man.
What's going on? Peace. How you doing? Thanks, brother. Appreciate it.
All right, thank you, man, for posting it. Like I said, I didn't even know you was having a show, man. So.
Yeah, man. It's one of them short notice joints, you know what I mean? But it's all good, man. I appreciate you tuning in, man. You know, a lot of people want to know. They want to hear from, the world. They want to hear, what do y'all think about, Donald Trump being the president? What now is the topic? The get a number is 319-527-6239. Feel free to share your questions and your comments. Or if you just want to, express yourself, how you feel about, the future, right about now. A lot of people are, some people are proud that Donald Trump is the president. Some people are not. Want to hear from you guys out there. Did you actually go out there and vote? Didn't you vote? Stuff like that. Let's go back to the UK. As far as the voting process, as LaRon and Michelle were saying, they feel like the system is rigged, things of that nature. Do you believe the same things, that the system, the voting process, is a rigged system? What do you feel about that?
Well, I think you got three different. Okay, actually, let me address one thing before I get into the other parts. Super delegates. What on earth? That sounds like something out of some kind of comic book or something. A super delegate. I thought democracy, demon rule, means that you have people put up, a group of people put up to potentially lead, and then the masses get together and then they vote. They collate the number of these votes, and whoever wins the majority vote should win. Now, I thought that is what the presidential election or any voting is supposed to look like. But upon looking at the detail, as I say, we've got super delegates, we've got the electoral collegiate voting process and all kind of madness which is taking place. You've got digital fraud which is taking place. You've got dead people who are voting. You've got people checking things which aren't supposed to be checked. You've got computer systems as well, which are sampling reports and stuff. It doesn't seem that anyone can really definitively say, was this a really fair and exact and true representation of the vote of the population? Because all we're doing is putting our hands and putting our trust into the system, and we're hoping that the system is going to be truthful based upon how we have voted. But it could have been a landslide for Hillary, for instance, but for whatever reason, the plan already put in place maybe 30 years ago has already been set, as I say. So it didn't make any difference how we were to vote, for instance. It's just to give people the illusion of choice and give people the illusion of we actually have an effect on what's going on around us, when in all actuality, it would actually appear that this is a rigged game. This is three-card Monty, as they say. This isn't a real event of sorts. This is a game. This is like paying your $15, going to the theater and watching some wonderful entertainment to take you out of your day-to-day life and take you somewhere else for an hour and a half. That's what it is. And they've rammed the elections down everybody's throats.
Okay. What about you, Brother Mark?
Sorry, sir. What was the question again?
Do you feel like the system is rigged? The voting system is rigged?
Yeah, I do believe it's rigged, although I believe that the American public did want Trump in. But I do believe that if the system wants a particular candidate in, that person will get in. That's why when I seen Obama get in 8 years ago, I knew somebody somewhere said, put that brother in. If they didn't want him in, he wouldn't have been in there. That's a fact. So now, you've had your 8 years of Obama, and they're looking at it and saying, okay, let's do something totally different, something crazy. Let's put this guy in power. Although I believe that the guy was saying the right things. And one thing I want to say to the listeners of this show is to Google the speech that got Trump elected. There's a speech, and he said everything right. He was saying things that sounded that must have sounded wonderful to the American public. You see what I mean? So, back to the original question. Yes, it is rigged, but I still believe the folks of America voted Trump in.
All right. Let's go to Michelle. Michelle, you there?
Yes, I'm right here.
Yeah. I know you answered that question already as far as the system is rigged, but tell us more about, what do you feel, how should we prepare for the future when it comes to Donald Trump? What's going on? I know you're out there in PA. What's going on out there in PA as far as the vibe, the energy when it comes to the presidency out there right now?
Out here in PA, there's a whole lot of it's mixed emotions out here in PA. There's a whole lot of happy people that are excited that Trump got it. There's a whole lot of disappointed people. There's a whole lot of, at least in my area where I live, there are a lot of Hispanic people who are fearful, who feel like they're going to have to leave the country and things like that. There's people that are afraid of their loved ones being deported. There's people who are afraid that are trying to get their family over to America. And they've talked about that, and I've spoken with people. There's a person who doesn't live in PA or in America. I won't say what country he lives in, but he messaged me during the night last night while the election was going on and kept sending messages. Who won? Is it Trump? Because if it is, that's it for my people, and he's afraid of wars and things of that nature. So the vibe is there's a whole lot of mixed emotions. There's a whole lot of people that are happy. I don't understand why they're happy, but there's a whole lot of people that are, that are upset. So as far as the future and what we have to look forward to, I would just say to if there was ever a time where we needed to stick together, it's now. I believe that we're living in the last days. I believe that that this is what's supposed to be happening according to Scripture. But to stay encouraged and just trust in God. He knew who was going to be president. He knew what was going to happen, and he knows what's going to happen. So that's all.
Sorry about that. Once again, it's Debate Talk for you guys, 319-527-6239. I see we have a lot of people on the phone lines right now. Again, if you want to chime in, that's question number one, and we'll add you in the conversation. Then we go back to LaRon, though. LaRon, do you believe, I don't know if you saw some of the speeches, some of the, rhetoric that Donald Trump was spewing out there about some of the things he said he's going to do. Do you believe he's going to actually do a lot of these things that he's saying as far as building up the wall and, about his foreign policy stuff? And if you do, let us know, give some details. Like, what do you believe he's going to do if he, or not going to do?
Probably, they good for doing, probably one or two things that they say that they're going to do. Since I've seen and been, a registered voter, I really stopped voting probably, I want to say, about 8 years ago. I didn't vote when Obama came in and, probably didn't vote before then, And I've seen them basically do things, some things that they say they was going to do to benefit the people entirely, but for the most part, a lot of things have not been done. I think that for the most part, it's clear that, as the sister says, when you talk about World War III, whether Hillary got in there or whether, Trump is in, this is something that they're shooting for because there has to be what you call crisis management. There has to be a crisis to basically manage the solution. And when we look at the scriptures is clear that the last of the images in Daniel is the toes. in Daniel as he's given before you see Daniel 7, which the Antichrist come out of the toes. But that's, he's just given us in the one of the last, which is the foot of the toes. And the toes is miry clay mixed with iron. So what does that mean? That means that we're going to have the iron, which is symbolic of Rome, or the royalty, basically, being mingled with the monarchy, being mingled with the democracy. And so these kings have mingled themselves with the seed of man. In other words, this is how you see that man are in the seed of man, basically, that are in position with these royalties of 5 toes, 1 miry clay, and 5 iron. And these don't really attach to each other that much due to the fact of the substance of them. But, we see that in the latter days, the iron is basically going to come strong and prominent again in these times. And I think that right now this is to establish this war and divide it into divisions of these 10 kings, basically. And the war looks like it's going to be between the continent of Africa, Asia, and Europe to regain those areas, because that's what this is all about, to regain those areas. And I think that America is being, they always the puppet, as being used as a tool to do so, as looked at as one of the being ran by the elite that's in the areas of Europe. So, I mean, it's...
Yeah, I believe if LaRon, your phone just dropped, brother. Call back in, man. Call back in. But let's go to the UK. What do you think? You think Donald Trump's gonna the things he said he's gonna do, he's gonna actually do? And if so, give us some details. And if not, express why. Let's go to Mark.
Okay. I think he's gonna have to do at least something. I'm not saying that he's gonna do all the things he said he's gonna do, but I think they will definitely try their hardest to get something done. I'm not too sure about building that wall. I know that's going to be very costly. I do believe he's going to try his best to bring some jobs back to America. Now, I know people might say that they're paying these cheap wages and whatnot to the foreigners, but it's a similar situation like in the UK. They're going to have to do something for token value. So the only thing we can do is wait and see how this thing plays out. But he's going to have to do something. There's no way he can get up there, say all these things. He gets into power and he don't do it. And you have to remember, Trump's not a politician. Trump's actually a businessman. So this is a different experience now for the States. This is a different experience to have a businessman type kind of running the country. Because as we know, businesses play a big part in any country. So let's see what Trump does. Let's definitely see what he does.
Yeah, I'm looking in the chat room right now, and I see you, Lion021. I see you posting up some scriptures, and I see some of your comments. You said, voting for Trump does not mean that the devil and demons and minions have left the earth. And you also said, and the second beast requires all people, small and great, rich and poor, free and slave, to receive a mark on their right hand or on their foreheads. Oh yeah, definitely familiar with that. Let's go to Noble. Go ahead.
I would say, just to reiterate, I think the wall thing, as far as I'm aware of, there's only a section of, I don't know, I couldn't give you the exact meterage, but there is a wall already partly there. That's there, and there's a fence. I think what he will do is to complete that. Obama supposed to have completed that task. But one thing that people aren't really paying attention to is that he's talking about immigration stuff, and as Sal highlighted and Prime Minister highlighted, there's a lot of work that takes place in America, and the majority of the workers, like for instance, landscaping, roofing, manual kind of stuff, hotel work, these kind of things, selling oranges, the classic thing, selling fruit and vegetables at the side of the highway and them kind of thing. These are things which are done by predominantly Mexican, Hispanic people. Now they contribute into the industry or into the system by whether they're legal or whether they're illegal. We're still with the illegal element of it. If they're illegal, they don't have the right, potentially based upon the law, to be working there. But with them working there, whether it's cash in hand, they're still paying into the system. They're still paying that 17 point, whatever the percent tax per state that they've got to pay. They're contributing. If they left, then who's going to pick that slack up? Who's going to be manicuring and landscaping the garden of these people's homes? Who's going to be fixing the roof? Who's going to be putting up the homes? There is workers out there, but as I say, the majority of the workers, them who are putting in that damn work, are the Mexicans. That's why they're coming to the wilderness of North America for an opportunity to work. You do get some now. Where the lines get blurred is where you get criminal elements coming in and messing it up for everybody. That's what the problem is. And I think what Donald Trump needs to do is to concentrate on that element of not allowing the quote-unquote Mexican drug cartel people them to come up through the borders and move not just drugs, but we're talking weaponry. So it's not done by by themselves. It's done with knowingly with the government's part of the government's knowing. It's clear that this is taking place.
Mm-hmm. Now, I'm looking at my timeline, and a lot of people actually are afraid of. They're using the words war, World War III, as Michelle mentioned, World War III. Also, how is he going to combat terrorism? They're saying that Donald Trump has a temper, and he's quick to say things, or quick to wrath or whatever. Mark, what do you feel about that, man? Do you feel like World War III is coming, and how does he respond? All right.
Let me tell you straight, man. Please, folks, don't go wild and start thinking that this is something it's not. There ain't going to be no World War III. That ain't going to happen. Right now, Britain and America, we can't afford to go to war. Let's keep it real. There ain't going to be no World War III at all. If there ever is another world war, I doubt it will be in our lifetimes or our children's lifetimes. So Trump ain't got that kind of power. Like I said, puppet master and puppet, there won't be that. So what was the second part of the question?
I was going to say, in regards to the Muslim community out there, how do you feel about Donald Trump? What are your thoughts? Do you know any of the Muslim brothers out there in the UK? What are they thinking about this whole thing?
Yeah, man, I know a lot of Muslim brothers, and that brings me to my next point. The mainstream media between Britain and the USA is full of hypocrites, because in one breath they tell us to be frightened of Muslims, and that Muslims are they link ISIS and Al Qaeda and all these terrorist groups to Muslims, and they frighten the people. You have to remember, most people, they ain't gonna look into the deeper picture of things. They just look at a surface level. So most people will say, you know what? They just link terrorism to Muslims. Now Trump comes out and says something like that, and they say, "Oh, Trump's racist. Oh, this and that. Trump said this about Muslims." But that's the same thing you've told the people to do. You've told the people to be fearful. Now the Muslims, Trump may not be Trump's biggest supporters, but I don't think that they don't. The Muslims have gone through so much since September 11th that they've got a lot more on their plate than does Trump. They're dealing with this every day. All what's happened is Trump's come out and said it on a mainstream level. But they are dealing with this every day, and I've seen this go on. I've personally been in the States myself and seen this type of thing going on. Muslims have been dealt with very badly over the past few years. And all Trump's did, as I said earlier, he came out and he's became a mouthpiece for those that are scared to talk. But remember this, when those folks go home at night and close that door, they're saying everything that Trump says. That's what you have to remember. So to my brothers and sisters in the States, don't think that these work colleagues and all that are your friends like that. Don't get me wrong, they'll come out and they do what they got to do. But when they go home, they believe in the same things Donald Trump believes in, the same things Donald Trump says. They are not going to say it because they have to come around you, be around you. You see what I mean? Be in your environment. Whereas Trump, he's a billionaire. His ignorance level is on a different level. He can say what he wants because his money is that long. So he could come out and say anything. And this was a win-win situation for Trump. This was a win-win, man.
Oh, wow. All right, Brother Noel, we're good, man. Yeah, good.
It's excellent publicity for Donald J. Trump and his little empire that is going on. And think about it. Let's look past. I know he hasn't really done anything yet, but think about after he's done his 4 years, after he's done his potential 8 years, he's going to have security for life. He's going to have Secret Service with him for life. He's going to be set up in a position where he was a billionaire. He's going to be on some trillionaire stuff, man. His money's going to be stupid long. He's going to be soccer balling. So this is an excellent financial move for Mr. Trump. World War III, in my opinion, in 1991, I believe, was it? Shock and awe tactics was taking place, and they televised all kind of madness with Saddam Hussein. In my opinion, that was World War III. If people are thinking there's going to be something else popping off like that, since we've been socialized within entertainment and news, we've had the fear of Russia, Gorbachev back in the 80s and stuff, and nuclear war and all these craziness and the Star Wars project and all kind of millions and billions spent on defense mechanisms and this and that and nuclear this and nuclear that. We're in 2016 now. The type of conventional war that took place many years ago is not the type of war they're going to be dealing with. These people, if they're going to deal with any kind of war, they're going to be shutting off infrastructures. They're going to be sending off pulses which take out infrastructures, so leaving people without electricity, gas, water, things like that. That's how the modern wars are going to be popped off, or biological. They ain't going to be doing no nuclear thing. They ain't going to be really popping off no bombs like that because it's not conducive for people to be living. If someone presses the button, another person presses the button, that's it, game over.
And also, Nova, what you're forgetting, wars of today would not be fought with boots on the ground. It would be a man would be in front of like he's playing a PlayStation, flying drones into man's atmosphere, them type of things. It's not going to be no boots on the ground. You don't need to worry about World War III. Trump, I'm going to say again, is just a puppet. But not just Trump, all presidents. You don't really see the man who's running it. Now, Trump, he will come into the White House and he'll be briefed. They will tell him, like, this, that, and the third. Omar Johnson's got a video that's circulating on Instagram right now, and he breaks it down. He breaks it down oh so well, where he's basically saying, that's just all you voted for is the personality to carry out the deeds. That's all you voted for. So when everyone's panicking now, I just don't really see what this big panic's about. This is just a man who's come out and they threw him in the mix to shake things up a little bit. But don't always feed in to the media, man. Because last week they were saying that it was almost guaranteed that Hillary Clinton was going to become the next president. So we have to look at things like that, man.
During the
All right,
big
let's go to
picture thinking, you have to live with.
Yeah, let's go to Michelle real quick. Michelle, you want to chime in on that?
Yes, I do. I don't think that we should rule out the possibility of there being a World War III. As far as not being able to afford war, we couldn't afford the last one. We're in trillions of dollars of debt, but if they wanted to go to war right now, they would. I really believe that. As far as Donald Trump not having the power, of course he doesn't. We all agree that he's a puppet. I believe that the powers that be, the family, the Rothschilds, for example, if they said we're going to make a war, they're going to use Donald Trump's hot head and his attitude in order to make it look like it's his idea, you know. I do believe in the possibility of a World War III. Should we be fearful? Should we be afraid? Like I said, I don't want to sound like a broken record, but we just need to be mindful of what's going on and prophecy and things like that in Scripture. But while we're all sitting here being distracted by the election, Russia's already preparing for war. And that's what you won't see on mainstream media right now. We're being distracted by things like the election and clowns and all that stuff went away too, didn't it, real quick? You don't hear about that anymore. The media will be quick to put on a story to cause mass panic or in order to distract you from what's really going on. Russia's getting their weapons together as we speak in preparation for war. And news channels like BBC, not our channels here, will show that. So I definitely think that it's a possibility. I definitely think we can't afford any war. We're already in debt. And I believe that when and if we do go into a World War III, hold on one second. I believe that if we do go into World War III, that we're also obviously going to go into a tremendous amount of debt and economic collapse.
Right. And I definitely agree with the sister. I mean, it may not be, if it's not in Donald Trump time or, but, you can expect that, the money is definitely there, it's definitely there. So we have to look at that and say, even with dealing with Kim Young in Korea, he's not playing with America. I mean, I don't know what you guys over in the UK is watching, but he's not playing with America nor Britain, nor, and they've linked up with basically, dealing with Russia and different other countries. So this is not a game. Terrorists is on this on-time high right now. Now, I don't know if you know what's going on between Syria and what's going on in Britain between, that situation. One of the things in order to control those things, especially in North Africa and parts of the West and the South Africa, due to the situation of, Islamic events and, what they call terrorism is something that has to be put up under control. Iran, I don't know if you're familiar with that situation and the money that's been given to, the Hamas by Iran. The situation with Israel, the Jews over there. So you definitely looking at a World War III. I don't know if it might be up under Trump. I'm not even worried about Trump. Like I say, he's nobody in position. He's just a puppet. He's just to, get America civilians ready for what is to come. But before a war always come, before we go to war with other countries, you definitely got to clean up your country first. And I think that that's what is definitely coming forth to happen. Be looking on the rise of credit card theft. Because one thing that we see is crisis management. You create a solution. Create a problem, and you give a solution. You manage it. And one of the things we see that took place is that, the security identification theft taking place. These are things to move about and to get what you call a one world currency, plus also intel. more cameras, in your homes as far as, entertainment, to put cameras in the all seeing eye on you, basically, which is on your dollar. So be ready to be, and it's been positioned. We've gotten closer to it. I don't know what's going to happen these 4 years, but the whole election was something of entertainment between Hillary and Donald Trump. So you might be, on the road of entertainment. It could be, Donald Trump is in there, or Hillary would have got in. We're just going to see the entertainment side of this election. And one of the reasons why you're being entertained is because something is happening in the background. So you're actually being distracted from what's really going to happen. So, World War III is, drones and all of that. Yeah, that's great. That's technology that they're using. And they definitely using that, but you always got your foot soldiers and missiles and, Iran over there with masks on their face. Korea over there with masks on their face in China due to the fact of nuclear bombs being made, nuclear plants. They got masks on their face. Obama went over there to address that, to get them to stop making these nuclear weapons. So definitely be looking for them and don't rule it out. Always be prepared. I don't care nothing about if Donald Trump has a hot head, if he does whatever they tell him to do. If those masters tell him, hey, look, we finna go to war, get your people ready, prepare the American people, then that's what's going to happen. It has nothing to do. He makes no decisions. When it comes to that war, he better get that intel. If he don't follow those instructions, he's not going to make the money that he's supposed to make, nor live that type of lifestyle as, representing for Europe over there. So I would have to say on this one, it's clear that, there will be some type of confrontation, especially with the Islamic situation over there on an all-time high and what's going on with Israel. Israel ain't playing, Hey,
LaRon.
Yes.
Hey, Noble. Just a quick one on what you said regarding China. I hear that. But they wear masks over their face because due to the pollution. I didn't know it was down. So I didn't hear nothing about the nuclear. Their nuclear capabilities makes their populi walk around with face masks. I thought it was due to the high pollution and smog that they got over there in that country, King.
Oh yeah. That's a part of that. Yeah. The reason why smog and different things like that is taking place is due to the fact of nuclear radiation. When you look at it's also caused by solid, which is the heaviest element, right? And so when you look at the uranium is radioactive, and when you look at a lot of things they're used to make these nuclear weapons, give what you call radiation pollution or exposure. And these exposure is and smog and all of these things is a part of that because it's a part of the atmosphere. These plants that they have, Obama was addressing that. He's addressing that. He left from a situation that we had in America, a terrorist situation basically, to go to China to deal with them on cease and making their from the nuclear plants that they're just giving off the radiation pollution, to stop basically making those things due to the fact of the pollution that it has. So they're definitely walking around. Anytime you see these plants this that we see now, and just not just the plants that's dealing with making bombs, but other plants, you're gonna have that smog because you're gonna have that great pollution. Like for instance, now I'm in the trucking business, and Africa has made some bad moves with China, and Africa is gonna be like China now. Now, reason why I say that is because the environment control what you put in the environment. Now, we have a clean air solution in America. I don't know if they have it in the UK, but that's what we have. So what we do is we have, people engineer so that the pollution from the vehicles and also the vehicles, how they're being made, won't affect the atmosphere. And we actually use what you call animal piss to control that within our they call it a clean air system within our trucks, clean air fuel or something like that. So when we look at it, that situation right there that Africa has done with China, they have taken that clean air off of these trucks, the system that they have, and we're actually selling those trucks to Africans and also to China for a cheaper rate. And they can run their trucks without the clean air, but it's something that is needed. So, yes, the development of weapons, the also development of putting forth of other technology plays a part with your smog pollution, and also not only that, your aviation also plays a part in your pollution just as well on this earth. Yes, so that's definitely tied in with that. And Obama did address that, and he's trying to get these nations to stop with this. And also I want to bring up one thing before I end on that note. Armenia, the people of Aram, Armenia, those people suffer from high dosages of uranium, and they have a disease there that causes uranium is radioactive. It breaks down. It's unstable, and it throws particles. So when it breaks down, it causes also you are radioactive yourself, and if you are exposed to that, then it causes certain mutations on your chromosomes, whether on your Y chromosome or on your X chromosome, your mtDNA, through your mother. Now, some of those mutations is only passed down, as we can see, on your Y chromosome from father to son, but they definitely have a mutation rate on their chromosomes in that land. Look up the Armenian people because of uranium. You can look it up now. And a lot of these elements is what they use to bring forth these mass destruction weapons.
Yeah, let me let the UK Express Troop brothers respond. Let's go to Noble. Yeah, you can respond to that. Man.
Yeah, I think I would agree with you to a point. Again, I would just say the majority of that is down to more heavy industry regarding that pollution. There are studies, and it's regarding the weaponized nuclear facilities. There are localized nuclear clouds, they're called, around those places. But looking at a wider picture, most so-called first world countries have nuclear plants, and they're creating nuclear wastage, which is seeping into the environment, not just via particles in the air. I'm talking into the actual water system itself. So we can't point the finger at big bad China. They definitely do some crazy stuff, and I'm in no way defending them, but we need to look at it from a more sort of holistic and balanced view. Back onto Trump himself, I just really think that there's a lot that he says, a lot that has been said. There's been a lot of truth in regards to some of the information he's brought forth. Some of the policies sound kind of alright, but in all actuality, what is going to be manifested? As Prime Minister said, trustfully, there's going to be some jobs at a local level being created, and we're not going to have so much of a wide gap between people gaining health care and dental care and veterans being able to get care, etc. So we definitely want to look at those things and have again a balanced view on that.
And just to jump in there, just to jump in, I'm sure I was watching on the BBC this morning that Russia actually have extended its hand to the USA and said that they want to build relations after this bad period that you guys have gone through with them. So when I'm hearing some of the callers speaking about World War III, and I'm saying to myself, well, Russia's just extended its hand. Putin did a press conference solely based off saying that he wants to build relations, and he's welcomed Trump with open arms to discuss ideas. We're talking about Kim Jong-un in North Korea. Now, he's been threatening all this stuff for years. He ain't going to do nothing of the sort. He won't do that. So when everyone's saying Kim Jong-un, do you really think Kim Jong-un can take on Britain and the USA? That's not going to happen, man. I mean, Britain and the USA store mass amounts of weaponry around North Korea. They've got ways into North Korea if they had to. So when you see Kim Jong-un get on TV and start saying he's going to do this and he's going to do that, he's always been saying that when the Americans released that movie in 2013, he said the same sort of thing. I think that you can't look at things like that. You can't look at that. See what I mean?
Russia is actually, when we look at Putin, this over there, this in office, he's pleased, or he wanted Trump to win because of, if you notice, he's actually raising strikes on Syria today. So this is the same also thing that America is doing, to stop Syria, or even the people of ISIS that's dealing with Syria. So definitely, they're trying to get together to basically stop certain things that's dealing with the war that's going on with Syria in that area, and also the attacks in Britain and certain within the Middle East. So definitely you can see right then and there, and also we've also seen actions from Putin that displayed a lot of foolishness too. So I'm very sound when it comes to, things, when it comes to government and Russia and Iran and China. So I'm this ain't something I ain't been doing. I mean, I just started doing. I've been doing this. So definitely, he's been looking for Trump because of the basically what they're going to do to try to substantiate what's going on, substantiate their claims on what needs to be done. With the Syria conflict. So definitely, I mean, and Kim ain't no joke either. So I mean, it's a lot of things that's got to be put in factor here. So we got Egypt, Europe, and also Asia, and these three continents have to do something about this Islamic threat. So I don't know what you've been watching, but I've been covering this for years now. So I'm up to date when it comes to basically the situations that's at hand.
Let me rebuttal that. All right, you said Kim Jong-un ain't no joke. What's that based off? What wars of Kim Jong-un before?
Well, actually, he's demonstrated his weaponry recently, about a month ago, probably, and they're capable. So they're definitely capable of. They're definitely capable of, putting forth this weaponry. Like I said, also when you deal with the Armenian people, as I stated before, with the nuclear plants that's up there in Armenia, you might want to look at that. I mean, you can look at these things and see what's going on and how these nuclear reactors are affecting the people and why Obama was moved to address that before, right in a chaotic thing that was taking place in America, and he moves over to address that situation within also looking at Korea. I mean, I don't know where you've been, but in America, like, hey, look, I'm following this thing. I got a dude right now, that's in Lebanon that I can go get Lebanon news from. So I got a dude from Germany that just hit me up in my inbox. Like, dude, I get the news out here. If that's something that you need, let me know, because I follow these things. Like, seriously.
But I understand that you follow it, but I'm saying, how did you come up with the idea that there is going to be a World War III? Like, I know you're saying that they've got these weapons, but you're speaking as though Britain and the USA haven't got weapons too. You're speaking as though it's only these countries that have got weapons. I mean, you've seen what happened back in the day when the USA dropped that thing on Japan. You seen what happened there? So don't think that because the USA and the UK ain't displaying what they have, don't think that they haven't got these things. Of course they've got these things, and they've got the technology too. And like I said, King John, he's always been threatening to make these moves. He's never stopped threatening to make these moves. So why is it that all of a sudden now we're taking him seriously now? And he's
I'm not saying that this is going to happen within Trump's time. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that in order to these surrounding nations that is around in those areas, Europe, also Asia, and Africa, there has to be some type of control with this Islamic threat. Now, one of the first things that you have to control, which is a national security, is your oil supply. There's ways and means of how they're going to control that. And another thing, the second thing we got to look at is also, not only that is that the threat of these surrounding countries with them making these nuclear reactors or these nuclear bombs to cause this stuff to go forth. Now, the reason why I'm stating World War III is due to the fact of, in order to establish a new world order, which it is clearly on the American dollar, you have to first basically get the people together that are divided. And one of the ways you get the people together that are divided, right, is by way of war. There has to be a civil, and there has to be also a continental war. And we've seen that even when they came to America, we can display that. In order to get the North and the South together, there had to be a civil war. And so there has to be these things that's taking place in order for a unity to come place, because you're just not going to walk into somebody's place and say, this is what you're going to do. If they don't agree to do that, there's going to be war. So, yes, Putin will be on the rise of establishing a relationship with America, right? Because, number one is we see that he wants the same thing to happen for us dealing with terrorism just as well. But what about not just Putin? What about the other countries who Russia wants to get in control that they don't have in control in their vicinity right now that they're fighting for? What about those governments that's supporting Syria? They're supporting the attacks on Syria. What about them? Let's not even talk about the surrounding countries. Not with Russia. We can get on them. So these are different people that are raising this basically as we've seen during the Ottoman Empire from these countries in Europe, Africa, and also Asia, raising this Islamic threat basically that's going to take place. Now, I understand you might be a Muslim or, and that's fine and dandy. You might not be the type to but it's going to happen. It's going to happen, whether we like it or not.
I'm not a Muslim still. I'm not a Muslim. But I don't see it. I don't see it. That's all I'm saying. And I'm back and forth between Europe and America. And I've been in Asia earlier this year too. So, and what I understand and what you and Noble was talking about earlier on is the good people of China wear masks because of the pollution. The pollution with so many vehicles and plus things like flu and all them things in the air. Because even myself, when I was there, I had a mask on myself. That's just part of the culture, man. See what I'm saying? That's been going on for years, for decades that's been going on. Because man's ain't new to traveling. We've been traveling from day dot. So we've been seeing these folks doing that forever. That's got nothing to do with chemical warfare or nothing like that.
Yes, and real quick, I just want to bring out this so you can understand this. You do realize, the relationship of Russia, and what actually took place to cause Russia and America to be in the position they is today. You do realize that, dealing with the Cold War and different things, that stuff has never been mended, So I think that to establish a unity between Russia and America is due to the fact of global security, but at the same time, in order to get global security, man, that's going to cost, something's going to have to give. So these are the things that you can't be telling people that we're not facing a situation of war when the very threat is at the door. You can't tell people that, or we don't have the finances. No. The finances is there. What about the wars that led up to establish the finances? And what we,
right, let me break that down, bro. You says that, I think it was the sister who earlier come on the line and said that the USA went to war and they didn't have money then. Yes, they did, but that was a one-sided war where you're just bombing out a man's country. That's it. You're just bombing out a man's country, and it wasn't a two-sided war. When you're talking about Russia now, that's a war where you're up against competition. That's a different thing. So when you're talking about bombing out Iraq, where it's a one-sided war, that's different than going to war with Russia, where Russia can take on anything you've got, and you guys can take on anything Russia's got. And you're saying to tell the people, to stop telling the people that there isn't going to be a war. Well, time will tell. But I'm saying, in my opinion, I personally don't believe there'll be a war. Putin's come out and he's extended his hand. Once Trump goes over there, they can mend that relationship, because really what we're dealing with is money. That's what this all comes down to, is money. And from money's on the table, it will be discussed. And that's it. The Russians don't want a war with America as much as America don't want a war with Russia. So there will be no war, in my opinion, that is. Now, I'm not saying that relationships may not go sour again, and it may not go that way. But getting back to that earlier point, like what the sister said, that was a one-sided war where you're just flying over and bombing out the place and dominating the place. Do you really believe Russia will be dominated in that way? Because I'm telling you right now, we're in Europe right now. The Express Truth are based in Europe. And that will not be the case. The Americans will not be dominating. No Russia, nothing around Russia either. And Russia have made that very clear. So a war like that may be a little bit expensive. So that's a different financial argument that I'm talking about. I understand where you're coming from.
Let me briefly inform you real quick on NATO. Let me read this article to you so you can understand this. It's just a quick quote. It says, NATO Security General Jens Stoltenberg has congratulated Donald Trump on his win and reminded him of the importance of U.S. leadership. Quote, watch what he says. We face a challenging new security environment, as you just stated, including hybrid warfare, cyber attacks, the threat of, and understand what a cyber attack is. That's another thing. That's, man. You seen what Russia caused that threat that took place at Target when those people's identification was stolen like that from that Target. From Target people. That was them. They did that. They initiated that, and it's the reason why that happened. But that's another story. Russians did that. It's the threat of terrorism. U.S. leadership is important as ever, he said. Notice they keep talking about the threat of terrorism, warfare, cyber attacks. Important as ever, he said. I look forward to working with President-elect Trump, basically. Now, this is NATO. Now, the biggest air force in NATO is Turkey, right? The Turkish people, right? The second biggest, which is America. Then you have the second biggest, which is Turkey, which has turned against Israel now, and also is at the point of where they believe is got some secret relation with the Syria thing that's going on. So to get this Islamic terrorism under control these divisions around this area of Europe, Asia, and also Africa, it's going to take muscle. And that is establishing, first off, there has to be intel, great intel. So it's clear, bro, like the intel that's going to be put out here is in your homes now through your PlayStations, through your phones. Why? Because the one way to monitor terrorism is they have to invade your privacy. So, brother, it's coming. And the Russia thing with the credit card thing and the system that they're using to stop terrorism, Donald Trump and the President of the United States are going to propose those things to you through crisis management, and Hillary was going to do it too. They're going to propose, they're going to cause incidents to occupy your private space. And once your private space is occupied, then they can have that intel or that all-seeing eye and can control terrorism. So, I mean, brother, the war is already at the doors. So I don't know what else to say.
Right, we're going to have to just agree to disagree on this point, man. Time will tell. Time will tell. Let's hope there isn't a war anyway, because we don't want it. We don't want a war as the people. See what I'm saying? So let's move on, man.
Yeah, I just want to put one more topic on the table before we pretty much wrap it up and get some last words from the special guest again. We're talking about politics today, right here on Debate Talk Radio. The 45th president is Donald Trump. What now? Again, the number is 319-527-6239. Let's go back to the U.S. Donald Trump, they're saying that a lot of people are saying on social media that, of course, Obamacare, everybody's talking about Obamacare. They wanted to, they're going to do it. He's going to do away with Obamacare. A lot of people are not happy with that, Obamacare. LaRon, do you have Obamacare? And what do you think Donald Trump's going to do with that?
Well, actually, man, I had Obamacare. And my wife ended up getting, a job. And once she got the job, we went on her plan. But I make over $130,000 a year, so but I only bring home a certain much due to the fact of write-offs and fuel and stuff like that of just with the business. But Obamacare, man, was a joke. You make money, it's not for you at all. My whole family got quoted for Obamacare. It's almost $700 to $800 a month. It's a joke, and so it's not for those people that are making that money. So I have to make probably over $130,000 just to have some type of insurance. So my wife, she's working now. I'm up under her insurance, but Obamacare is a joke for people that's making money. And then the money we spend, it pays for the people that's up under us, that make money up under us, which is cool, but at the same time, hey, look, my family got to be insured. So, I mean, yes, I definitely had it, and but man, it's a joke. That's all I want to say.
All right, let's go to Michelle. What do you feel about the, Donald Trump? If you have Obamacare, he might, they're saying that he might do something to that. What are your thoughts about, the Obamacare and Donald Trump actually tampering with that?
I do have Obamacare right now, and I have the option. I'm blessed enough to not have to go through insurance from my job if I wanted to, but many people don't have that opportunity. I do believe that he's going to alter it in some way. I guess we'll all have to see what happens as it comes. I know that right now, if you don't have Obamacare, I know that there's a penalty. I know when you go in.
I know you got to handle the babies over there. I got you. What about you? Let's go to Martin Noble, the UK. What do you feel about the Obamacare thing? I know you're in the UK. Any knowledge on Obamacare and what it's all about? You think Donald Trump's going to tamper with that? Go ahead.
It from the outset, it sounded like a kind of a good idea. But as LaRon has laid out, for people who are actually putting in that work, doing the 70 hours plus or whatever. I know obviously in America you guys have to work a lot longer work hours than potentially over in Europe, etc. So if you're putting in the work, you're, as LaRon said, you're propping up the people who aren't fortunate, who maybe are on disabilities, the vets, etc. But it's not proportionate. It's not proportionate. So the rich aren't really the rich people who can really afford to be able to prop up the lower end of society aren't doing that, and it's left for the middle class to do so. Trump, from what he said and from his rhetoric, he's saying that he's going to bring forth some kind of change to make it fairer. Whether that will actually manifest in the physical is another thing. The system it's always seemed to be rigged against people who are trying to better themselves. If you're in receipt of welfare, it may be a little easier for you. If you're past that sort of quote unquote middle class and you're these so-called rich people, then you get things free. Things come to you a lot easier and stuff. So I think there definitely needs to be some balance there. Will it actually manifest? Only time will tell. Ultimately.
And Brother Mark, Prime Minister.
Yeah, I just echo what Noble said. Really, it seemed like a good structure when it first came about, but obviously we don't live in the States. But from what I'm hearing from relatives in the States, it's turned out not to be all that really.
And how does it how's the coverage out there in the UK? How does it work out there?
Healthcare
for all.
Healthcare out here is it's quite good, to be honest. It's definitely quite good. What would you say, Noble? I had no problems, and none of my family members or friends have had any problems either. I mean, it's not the best, but it's definitely a lot better than what I hear goes on in the States.
It's functional. It gives you the ability to.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah,
Go
some
ahead,
of the rumors that they say is that like when you make an appointment, it's like really, really long to be seen. That's some of the rumors that we hear in the States.
Define that.
UK, let us know how it works out there. Yeah.
Yeah, but define that. I hear that, but define what would you class as really, really long to wait for an appointment?
Yeah, let's say right now is November, right? And when I'm making an appointment with the doctor, it's I'm gonna be seeing probably next year, April. 2017.
Oh, no, nothing like that.
Correct.
Nothing like that.
Correct.
Okay.
You see
totally
the
incorrect. Yes, exactly. You can either go see. Go to Prime Minister. Go to.
All right. Look, you've got an appointment. If you have a bit of a flu or a cold, and you call the doctor today, he'll give you. You could get an appointment for say Monday. If it's an emergency, you can go in there tomorrow. Simple as that. It's not, the healthcare system is quite straightforward here. I haven't, like I said before, I haven't had a problem with it.
And with hospital as well, with definite. I mean, going to the hospital, like going to an emergency room and stuff like that, you literally turn up. So if you've cut yourself or bumped your head or broken arms, whatnot, you go there, you give them your details. Sometimes it might be, depending on the time you go there, it may be a 3-hour wait. Sometimes it can be 6 hours wait if it's in peak time. But generally, you'll be seen. Now, the only downside to that is, and I'm pretty sure this is going to be taking place across the globe, is the standard of care that you may receive in certain places. Some places it can be very good. And there can be no problems. There may be no problems. In other places, the standard of care, the quality of care can be dramatically different. You can have operations and have stuff left inside of you in England. Again, I'm pretty sure this takes place across the globe. You can go in for a very routine operation and unfortunately not wake up because of negligence, because of mistakes. So it's a gift and a curse. It's a very simple system, but when things go wrong, things really go wrong sometimes.
Oh, wow. That's crazy. All right, yeah, we're going to pretty much wrap this up with some final words from the special guest. Again, I appreciate, you, ladies and gentlemen, for coming on for such short notice. But let's get some last words from LaRon Campbell. Hey, LaRon, are you there, LaRon? Hello?
There's G.Kon at?
Yeah, I think LaRon dropped, man. All right. Well, let's go to Michelle. Any last words?
Bottom line, God is still in control. God knew who was going to be president. He knows who will be president after Trump. He's still in control. Stay encouraged.
All right, short and sweet. There we go. Let's go to Mark. Prime Minister. Any last words? Make sure you plug all your information out there. Let the audience know that.
Yeah, man. All right, then. Look, to the folks in America, concentrate on you, man. See what I'm saying? Concentrate on what you do. Take your time out and work on bettering yourself. Don't let the system scare you and make you believe that everything's gone to tatters. That's not the case. Anyway, follow the Express Truth Show, man, to hear more of my views. Follow me on Instagram, CMoreCake87, and keep tuning into South Showtime, man. It's a great show. First time I've actually called in, and I enjoyed it, man. And shout out to all the other callers on the line.
All right, man. We appreciate you. And, of course, we go to my brother Noble. Any last words?
Sure, indeed. Give thanks. Thank you very much, Sal, for providing, as I always say, the wonderful platform for people to come on and express the truth in a positive way, without profanity, without talking over each other. We provided, trustfully for the siblings, a plethora of information and jewels, which should be definitely researched and verified. Give thanks to the Most High for giving us the ability to breathe and have air in our lungs and to think and to be progressive. Each one teach 12. Shalom, balance, paradise. Express Truth UK. Definitely keep it locked in here. Again, special mentions to Shal Showtime for providing the excellent platform. Shalom.
All right, man. Well, I appreciate the brothers from Express Truth, LaRon Campbell. If you're there, let me hear you. Let me hear your voice, man. If you're not, then you got to pretty much. Okay, there you go. All right, some last words, brother. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Sal, once again, man, I appreciate you. I also appreciate the brothers in the UK. Always a pleasure to hear from you brothers, as well as the sister. Likewise, there's nothing to be afraid of. I encourage everybody. Make sure your eyes is always open. Prepare yourself. Gear up. Always prepared. I don't care who get in there. Always be prepared. It can't help. It can help. It can't hurt you. So with that being said, you can reach me, at LaRon498@gmail.com or on my Facebook, LaRon G.Konsciousness, or on my YouTube page, my YouTube channel, which is G.Konsciousness. And remember, consciousness is not spelled with a C, but actually spelled with a K. So G.Konsciousness. So you will be able to reach me those ways. Where we deal with eschatology, we deal with economics, politics. Also check out BEC, Black Empowerment Christianity, every Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we deal with apologetics over there as being apologists. And also we talk about situations like these. We ourselves did not go forth and vote, and we want to basically get away from some of the beast system that's going on and try to move and do some things within our realm that cause us to somewhat, not all the way, detach ourselves from this system. Not all the way, though, but not be solely attached to where we emotionally, wrecked by the things that has taken place within this government. So with that being said, I just want to say peace and blessings to the brothers out there, to the sisters listening in, and hopefully, man, we can just get it together, man, and not walk by sight and what we see, but make sure that we walk with the Most High and accept, the Word of God, His Son, Jesus Christ, in our lives. Peace and blessings.
Yeah. Shout out to South Showtime.
The Almighty Spawn.
I am
God of music.
the Almighty Black God Spawn. And this that debate talk for you. We got that straightforward truth. We can see both sides of the end. You can say the same or change all your views. This that debate talk for you. We got that straightforward truth. We can see both sides of the end. You can say the same or change all your views. This that debate talk. For you. We got that straight talk. The truth. So what you waiting on? If you ain't trying to learn it, what you hating for? Say no more. Yeah. Speak your peace, leave in peace, and don't be violent. Don't be swayed, don't get played like a violin. Ain't no fussing, just discussions in the lion's den. Hot feet burning up like a fireman. The subject matter's obvious, though it can vary. We discuss a lot of religion and politics. Keep it straight like a hockey stick. Learn as I listen in, and I'ma win. This that debate talk for you. We got that straightforward truth. We can see both sides in the end. You can stay the same or change all your views. This that debate talk for you. We got that straightforward truth. We can see both sides in the end. You can stay the same or change all your views. Yeah.
The Almighty
Talk for You Radio. Yeah.
God of music.
When you don't go to Geico.com, car insurance can seem intense. Like breakup R&B intense.
I thought you said you loved the sweater that I got you. If you didn't, you could have told me.
Geico makes it easy. Just go to Geico.com anytime to update or check your policy without all the extra drama.
I even had a gift receipt.